It turns out that a lot of the same philosophies, mindsets, principles that can make you fantastically wealthy could also make you fantastically fit, fantastically in shape. And in this episode of the podcast, I'll share a few more tips, tricks, mindsets of the fantastically wealthy that you can also apply to your healthy living journey so you can look amazing, feel amazing, perform at your best, be your best self, show up your best in all areas of life. Tune in and take notes.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
What's up, guys? I'm Coach G, one of the coaching team here at CrossFit Edwardsville. And one of the ways that I like to start my day is by listening to audio from very successful people to learn how they think and how they approach life so that I too can learn from them, take the key salient messages and apply it to my own life. And something I've definitely noticed is that a lot of the things that make people fantastically successful in one arena of life, like finance and wealth, are also things that can be applied and that I see applied in other arenas like health and wellness by the most successful people who are not just great in one area of life. They have a successful business, they've got great relationships, but they're also in really good shape. There are certain mindsets and principles that are common, parallel, correlates, whatever you want to call it. And in this second episode of the series, I'm going to boil down and reveal a few more of the key mindsets or philosophies that you can take and apply to making yourself very, very rich in fitness. So let's get into it. Number one, focus on the few. People who become fantastically successful in any area of life are generally not doing a lot more than you are. They are doing fewer things than you are. They're focusing all of their time, energy, efforts on the few things that really matter the most. In the aspects of wealth accumulation, there are a few key things that historically always tend to drive greater wealth accumulation. And then in the area of health and fitness, the same is true also. In the area of health and fitness, having regular exposure to strength training, resistance training, progressive overload is one of those key few things that make a massive difference. Another is having regular exposure to cardiovascular stimuli, both the zone 2, long duration, more conversational pace, as well as high intensity intervals. That's another key element, it's another one of the few that makes a massive difference, having regular exposure to that and having some sort of structured diet, some sort of structured eating plan that gives you guidelines and principles for eat this, not this much of the thing. Having an actual game plan for your healthy eating and taking action on it is another one of the few things that makes a massive difference. There's a lot of chatter out there. There are a lot of distractions. There's always a million competing priorities. The people who become incredibly successful in any arena are often the people that are the best at saying no to a lot of little good things so they can say yes to a few really great things. This is also true in your health and your fitness. Do your resistance training, do your cardio. You want both. Eat in a healthy way. Those key few things make the most massive amounts of difference, especially over time. Number one, focus on the few. Number two, spend less than you earn. Another key principle of long-term wealth management, wealth accumulation, is to spend less than you earn. If you're the kind of person, the kind of undisciplined spender that always spends more than you earn, then it really doesn't matter how much money you have. You'll always be broke. You'll always be living paycheck to paycheck. The flip side of that is if you can build a system, a process, a budget in which you spend less than you earn, you save on a regular basis, that is, and invest on a regular basis. That's core principle of wealth accumulation. Well, you can also apply this to your health and your fitness to say, on my finance side, I spend less than I earn. On the healthy eating side, I eat less than I burn. I have an actual plan. I have parameters and guidelines for how much I eat. And similarly, I have a game plan for how much activity I get so I can be sure that my activity outweighs my caloric intake, for example. Note asterisk that not all foods are created equal, and some things do have a different metabolic impact than others. But the core idea is that you want to have a net positive outcome in your body by inputting healthy food, healthy activity, and not having negative outputs of poor eating or spending your whole day sitting in front of a computer, for example. You want to exercise and be active and consume less than you burn. Core principle number 2. Number 3, let's go to think solutions, not problems. You could argue that this principle is a principle of winners across the world. People who don't look for the problems, don't dwell on the problems, but instead ask themselves, what could be the silver lining in this? What if this challenge I'm seeing is the best thing that could ever happen to me? I got tested on this in my health and fitness in the recent past. I was out there in the garden with my son, and I had a pretty severe gardening accident where I have a very, very severe cut on my left hand, required a lot of stitches, and it would be very easy for me to say, you know what, I'm just going to skip my workouts until my hand heals. But when I was thinking solutions, not problems, I realized it'd be better to go into the gym and work on my abs, work on my other arm, work on any strength asymmetries that I had, and still do what I could do. It forced me to be more creative with my workouts, and actually I ended up doing a lot more interesting and different and varied workouts than usual because I had no choice. I had to be creative. Couldn't use my left hand as much as usual. And this idea of thinking solutions, not problems, not falling prey to victim mentality, woe is me, things are easier for everybody else, whatever flavor of lie we tell ourselves, people who are winners, long-term successes, are more likely to be people who think in terms of what can I do to get me closer to my goals versus what obstacles do I have that I could feel sorry for myself about. You don't want to be the latter. You want to be the kind of person that says, well, yes, I have a busy schedule today. What can I do to get some exercise in? Yes, I will be away from home. What restaurants do provide me food that is on plan for me and lets me keep my health in a state of priority? Thinking in terms of solutions, not problems, is a core business principle and a key principle to your success in your health and your fitness as well. So to recap, in episode 2 here of Millionaire Mindset Fitness Tips, number 1, focus on the few. Number 2, spend less than you earn, consume less than you burn. Number 3, think solutions, not problems. Everybody's got problems. Everybody's got a lot of them. If you focus and dwell on them, it gets you down. It's demotivating. If you think in terms of solutions, opportunities, what if this challenge that you're going through right now is actually the best thing that could possibly happen to you? What would that look like? Let's think about that for a minute. And that lets you become more motivated, more inspired to keep going despite your problems. Hey, hopefully you've gotten some fresh ideas on how you can think better in terms of your health and your fitness. And if you did, leave some comments below. We would love to hear from you about which of these ideas resonated with you. How are you going to put this into practice? We'd love to hear from you. Tell us in the comments below. For now, We wish you guys an amazing, beautiful, and blessed rest of your day, and we will see you in the next episode of the podcast.